Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Myself Kuhu Sarkar, and in this video I am going to talk about the poem Punishment, which was written by Seamus Heaney. So first let's know about the poet. Seamus Heaney was an Irish writer, poet, playwright, translator, teacher and critic. He is considered one of the major poets of the 20th century. It is said that after W.B. Yeats, he was the most famous and popular Irish writer. He received Nobel Prize in 1995 for his literary work, and his literary works were published into 27 languages. Some of his most important works are Death of the Naturalist and Digging. So he always said that I want to dig up. I want to dig up with my pen. So his paternal family were farmers and his maternal family were engaged with industry, and he is here mixed of both. So he always said, as my ancestors, my fathers, my grandfathers digged up with their instrument, I want to dig up with my pen. So here we see that most of his poem he tried to dig up the history and then try to make it in a new way. In this poem also Punishment, we see that Seamus Heaney took some historical events, some historical fact, and then try to link it up with the modern situation. So let's know the historical background of the poem. Punishment is one of Seamus Heaney's poem that explores the nature of violence and revenge within society. So, as you can guess from the title itself, that punishment. So, it explores the nature of violence and revenge within society. It was first published in the book North in 1975. So it's published in Book North in 1975. It focuses specifically on a body that has been buried in peat bog for around 2000 years. So it focuses on a body which has been buried in a peat bog around 2000 years. When Henny wrote poem, the body known as the Wind by Girl dug up in 1952 in Germany. So please note it down that he took the reference when the body dug up in 1952 and was thought to have been ritually killed. So this body was called as Wind by Girl, which was dug up in Germany, and it was thought that it has been ritually killed. The body has been ritually killed for maybe some sin, maybe something. Her hair had been shaved, band covered her eyes, and a halter or rope was tied around her neck. So we can see that her her hair had been shaved. A band covered her eyes and a rope was tied around her neck. So please note this down because we can see the references in the poem. But here the poet want to say that this is a female body, and he also addressed this body as adulteress and try to make us imagine that it is a female body so that he can link up with the body of modern days situation. But if we see it in a historical way, it is said that in the poem the speaker refers to the body as an adulteress. He make us imagine that it is an female body, but who is skilled for breaking the tribal law. But subsequently investigating with cutting edge technology has shown that it is not a female body, but it is a body of a teenage boy. So here the poet want us to imagine it as a female body, but if we see the historical fact, we see that it is a body of a teenage boy. The lack of hair on one side the head thought to have been caused by uneven exposure to tannic acid. And here we see that there is no hair in the head, so it is for the exposure of tannic acid or the preservation in peat box, because these body were preserved in peat box. Maybe for that reason there is no hair on the head. So these discrepancies don't detract from the overall theme of the poem, which stands by itself the punishment we humans hand out when individuals break the taboos or cross the red line. So here it said that we don't have to take this reference or this historical fact, because here the poet make us imagine that it is a female body, and the theme was that this body has been killed or punished for some sin. And what sin? Maybe this girl have an sexual affair with the with someone with the society does not accept, or maybe she crossed a red line, the taboo which the society could not accept, therefore she have faced the fate. So now see the contemporary situation, the modern situation, which Simaseni want to connect with. Henny uses the bog in metaphorical sense and parallel the death of the bog person who he took to be female, with the punishment to handed out to modern girls by IRA. IRA means Irish Republican Army. So Irish Republican Army during the troubles in his native Northern Ireland. So what is troubles? Troubles is a fighting or a battle between the Northern Ireland and the British soldiers. So it is said that some girls, some women of Northern Ireland, they engaged with a sexual affair with the British troops or the British soldiers. Therefore, these women are also punished by the other women and the society and other people. These girls were saved, stripped, mean the naked, being naked and covered in tar. They covered in tar and feathers and tied to railings in Belfast for being too friendly to British troops. So these girls were saved and stripped and covered in tar and feathers sprayed on their, so that to humiliate them, they having an affair, they engaged and with a sexual affair with these British soldiers, therefore they face this punishment. The speaker in the poem confesses to not being able to do anything to help. So here we see that the poet said that I can feel your pain, I can feel your suffering, I can see, but he also said that I don't have the strength, I don't have the courage to stand for you, to speak for you, because I am only a artful voyeur. I can only see that what is happening. If I was there when you are being punished, I uh, don't have the I could not do anything for you, because I am a dumb person. I can only see that what is happening. So he is not a brave person here, as he addressed himself. So understand why the punishment were meted out in the first place. So let's see the poem now. Here you can see the picture, the wind by girl picture, which I take from Google. Now let's see the poem. I can feel the tug of the halter at the nape of her neck, the wind on her naked front. So he said that I can feel the pain, the tug of the halter of the nape, of the rope at the nape of her neck, the wind on her naked front. So it said that the wind which blows on her naked front. So as it said that the girl has been facing the harassment, the humiliation, and she is naked by these people, she is being naked by these people. So this body is naked. So he said that I can feel that how this rope is tightened up on her neck, the wind blows on the naked body, the naked front. It blows her nipples to amber beads. It shakes the frail rigging of her ribs. So it says that it blows on her over her nipples. Means this body is naked now, and when the wind blows on her nipples, it make it solid. It make it hard, and it's look like the amber beads. So these nipples are makes like beads which we with which we make beautiful necklace. So these beads are became so these nipples are become so hard, so solid, that it's look like some amber beads, and it shakes the frail rigging of her ribs. So when the wind blows, it shakes the bones, the ribs of the body. So he can feel the pain here. So you can see on the picture also. Okay. I can see her drowned body in the bog, the awakening stone, the floating rods and bogs. So he said that I can see her drowned. This body, the wind by girl body, was in pit box, and it was drowned by these people who punished her. So it was drowned, and they covered it with irons or with rods, bogs, so that it cannot came out, it could not come out. So he said that I can see her drowned. This body was drowned in the sea. The awakening stone, they put the stone over the box, the awakening stone, the floating rods, they covered it with rods and irons, under which at first she was a barked sapling. So under which she was like a barked sapling. So it is a metaphor, it is an example of metaphor. So this body has been compared with a barked sapling that is dig up oak born brain Firkin. So his brain is looking like a oak born, is looking like a little oak box, and between the brain I can see, the poet said, I can see the brain is looking like a oak born. Then the next line, you can see the picture so that you can understand. Her shaped head like a stubble black corn, her blindfold a solid bandage, her nose a ring. So he said that her head have been shaped. The girl head have been shaped, and it's look like black corn. In the field, you see that after cutting the corn, there are still some corn you are coming out from the field, right? So you cannot cut the whole corn, you cut, and their little corns are there. So her head is also looking like a stubble of black corn. The hair are looking like a black corn. Her blindfold, this body, her eyes have been covered with bandage, some tape. So when the times goes on, after the time, the bandage are ruined, the bandage are destroyed, and it becomes soil. And he said that I can see the blindfold of soiled bandage, her nose a ring. So her nose is like a ring. Her neck, you can see in the picture that her you can see in the picture that her neck is covered with her neck is tightened with a rope, and it looked like a ring. So here the poet trying to say that the girl is accused for having an affair, a sexual affair with some partner, with some partner, and it is not legal. If we engaged in a legal marriage, or if we engaged in a relationship which society accept, which is marriage, and when we do marriage, we get the ring, which is the symbol of marriage. But here the girl did not have the ring, because her relationship was not accepted by the society. Therefore she also get the ring, but it is not in her hand, it is on her neck. Okay. Then it is an example of enjambment, that the line did not finish here. Enjambment, maybe the spelling is right. So it is an example of enjambment, that you see that her knows a ring to store the memories of love. So the line did not finish here, and it goes on into the next stanza. To store the memories of love, little adulteress, before they punish you, you have wear flaxen hair and unnourished, and your tar black face was beautiful, my poor scapegoat. So he said that there are lots of memories what you can store. Little adulteress, so he addressed the body as little adulteress, he addressed it as a female body, and he said that you are, maybe you punished for doing something wrong, some which society cannot accept, so you are a little adulteress, maybe you engaged with something for what they punished you. Before they punish you, you wear flaxen hair. So before they punish you, you have flaxen hair, undernourished, and your tar black face was beautiful. So it is a reference of the modern time, the travel event, when these females' bodies were covered with tar. So he also took the reference, and he said that the tar black face was beautiful. So before they covered you with tar, your face was beautiful, my poor scapegoat. So it is an example, it is an he took the reference of Bible or Testament, where it is said that a goat was got the punishment for the priest. The goat was innocent, but he have to take the punishment because of the priest. So here also the poet said, maybe the girl was not 100% guilty, maybe the girl was not the person, or he is being he get the punishment for no reason. Maybe the partner with whom she has the engagement, maybe he should also get the same punishment, but only here the female get the same punishment. As you see the travel incident also, the British soldiers also engaged with these women, but here we see that women's only get the punishment for being a relationship with the troops, but the British soldiers did not get the punishment. Here also maybe the girls were not guilty, maybe the girl were not did any sin, maybe her partner also should have the same punishment, but she is here as a innocent person, as a scapegoat who have to face the punishment like the scapegoat. So I almost love you. He said that I almost love you, but would have cast I know the stone of silence. I am a artful fire. He said that I almost love you. I love you. I can feel your pain. I can see what is happening with you. But would have cast I know the stone of silence. But if I were there, I was there in front of you when they give you the punishment, when they gave you the punishment, I was only like a stone of silence. I became a statue. I could not do anything for you. I keep myself silent because I don't have the courage, don't have the strength to stand by you, to stand for you. I am only a artful voyeur. I can only watch what is happening with you. because the girl has been harassed, the girl has been punished, and she has been naked, saved, and covered with tar. And artful fire mean those who watch something happening, some who watch and get the pleasure when something sexually happen, or something happening with vulgar thing happening, and one is watching. So where he said that when the girl have been punished and she has been harassed, the poet become artful where can only get pleasure or get the pain or anything, but he could not have get the courage to stand for the girl. So I am the artful voyeur of your brain exposed. Here also example of enjambment of your brain exposed, the darkened combs, your muscles waving, and the numbered bones. So I can see your brains exposed, your brains exposed, darkened combs, and your muscles. Your muscles are waving because the wind blowing, and all your numbers bone. I can count the bones. Here in the picture also we can count the numbers of the bone. So he said that I can count the numbers of your bone, but I could not stand for you. So here the poet sometimes went into past tense, sometimes he speaks in present tense, because sometimes he speaks on the modern situation, the contemporary situation, and sometimes he speaks for the wind by girl. Okay. At the last stanza, he said that I who would stood dumb. So he said himself, he addressed himself that I who would stood like a dumb when your betraying sisters called in tar and waved by the railing. So there is a reference that these girls in travel fighting, these girls who get the punishment are get the punishment from their neighbors women. So he said that the betraying sisters, sisters who punished you, called in tar and waved by the railing, would I only stood like a dumb who would cunning in civilized outrage and yet understand the exact and tribal intimate revenge. So who would cunning in civilized outrage. So when the civilized outrage came out, I could not do anything, but I understand the tribal and intimate revenge, that why they try to take the revenge on you. So I don't have the courage. He only connect the situation. He only a artful voyeur, he only a dumb person. He could not stand for the girl. So now let's see the statement which Seamus Heaney gave for the poem. My emotions, my feelings, whatever those instinctive energies are that have to be engaged for a poem, those energies quickened more when contemplating a victim strangely from 2000 years ago. So he said that my pain, or my as I see the body, I can only connect, I can only feel the pain. And it was in these victims made strangely beautiful by the process of lying in box, that somehow I felt I could make offerings and images that are were emblems. So I can make only, I can give only my offerings with this poem. So now see the structure of the poem. Punishment is a free verse of 11 stanza, each line having 4 lines and making 44 4 short lines, and making 44 lines. So there is no one second, there is no structure, or there is no solid structure in the poem. no regular structure, but there is some metrical beat. You can see, I can feel, uh, you can see that halt, nape, wind, neck, front. So there is the internal rhyme the in the poem. So let's see some of figure of speech. As I say, there are enjambment in the line. There are also example of alliteration. You can see nape on her. And what is alliteration? The similarity of the repeating sound of repeating consonant sound in the lines. So you can see nape on her neck, rigging on her rib, rigging on her rib, nape on her neck, nape on her neck. This is the um, consonant sound which came in these sentences. Then there are also some example of assonance. What is assonance? The repeating sound of repeating vowel sound. When we see the repeating vowel sound like body in the bog, see, O sound, body in the bog, ropes in the bogs, bows. So the repeating of vowel sound is an example of assonance. Okay. Then there are example of enjambment and internal rhyme also. Internal rhyme, you can see nape, nape, neck, neck, naked. So these are the internal rhymes. So there is no regular rhyme or rhyme structure in of the poem. So that's all for today. And there are also example of metaphor, as I shown you. The staple, one second. There is an example of a barked sapling, this line barked sapling. And there is also an example of simile when it is said that her head is like a stubble black corn, stubble black corn. Okay, maybe this is here. Yes, this is an example of simile, stubble black corn. This is an example of simile. Okay, so that's all. I hope you liked the video, and please give your feedback in the comment box. So thank you for giving your time. Thank you.